You're climbing out of Rio de Janeiro, heading for São Paulo, on a routine flight when suddenly, thump, a violent impact shakes the aircraft. Just minutes later, the pilots announce an emergency return to the airport. What just happened? This is exactly what happened on February 20th, 2025, when LATAM Airlines Flight 3367, an Airbus A321, registration Papa Tango Mike X-ray Oscar, suffered a serious bird strike 13 minutes after takeoff. The collision significantly damaged the aircraft's nose radome, forcing the crew to return to Galeão Airport for an emergency landing. But how serious was this event? Could pilots have continued to São Paulo? And more importantly, why does this keep happening in Brazil? Let's break it down. On February 20th, 2025, LATAM Flight 3367 took off from Rio de Janeiro, Galeão International Airport, Sierra Bravo Gulf Lima, bound for São Paulo Guarulhos, Sierra Bravo Gulf Romeo. Shortly after departure, while climbing through approximately 5,000 feet, or 1,524 meters, the aircraft struck a bird, causing significant structural damage to the nose radome, the section of the aircraft that houses the weather radar and avionics components. Released images show a large dent and even a hole in the radome exposing internal equipment. Recognizing the severity of the damage, the pilots immediately notified air traffic control and decided to return to Galeão. The A321 landed safely back at Galeão, and thankfully no injuries were reported among passengers or crew. However, the aircraft was grounded for 29 hours before being repositioned to São Paulo for further inspections and repairs. How dangerous was this incident? Bird strikes are a well-documented hazard in aviation, but this one caused significant structural damage. Did you know that a bird weighing 1 kilogram or 2.2 pounds colliding with an aircraft at 250 knots or 463 kilometers per hour can exert a force of over 10,000 newtons, which is comparable to being hit by a small cannonball? The nose radome, where the impact occurred, doesn't contain critical flight controls, but it does house the weather radar, which is essential for detecting storms and turbulence, avionics equipment, which could be compromised if exposed to high-speed airflow, and structural components which could weaken if further damaged. While the pilots maintained control of the aircraft, continuing to São Paulo was not an option. Returning to Galeão was the safe and logical decision. Now, let's address the bigger issue. Why do bird strikes keep happening in Brazil? In 2024 alone, LATAM Brazil reported 562 bird strike incidents. Following this incident, LATAM CEO Jerome Cadier publicly voiced his frustration, criticizing the lack of investment in wildlife control measures at Brazilian airports. In Cadier's statement, he said, "Bird strikes are a major operational and financial challenge, yet there's still no consistent investment in wildlife management near airports. We need real solutions." He's not wrong. Many airports struggle with proper wildlife management, with some lacking the necessary policies to reduce bird populations near active runways. The financial impact of bird strikes is huge. Damage to an aircraft can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, not to mention delays, cancellations, and lost revenue. So, how can airports prevent bird strikes? Many airports worldwide actively mitigate bird strikes using methods like radar-based bird detection systems, removing food sources near runways, deploying trained falcons, drones, or laser deterrents to scare birds away. But not all airports enforce these measures consistently, especially in regions like Brazil, where wildlife management remains a challenge. Unless stricter measures are implemented, incidents like this will continue to happen. While this incident didn't result in injuries, it highlights a growing problem. The LATAM crew handled the situation professionally, ensuring a safe return to Galeão. But bird strikes continue to disrupt airline operations, costing time, money, and creating safety risks. Will this be a wake-up call for Brazil's aviation authorities to take stronger action? What do you think? Should airports do more to prevent bird strikes? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, remember to like, subscribe, and activate the notification bell for more aviation safety stories like this one. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.